Well, welcome back to Spencer FYI. We're here at the fire department, and I'm here with Mark Stouffer. You're the deputy chief?
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about how you got involved in the fire department here.
In 1995, I started as a volunteer, and then a spot opened up in 2001 for a engineer's position, and I applied and luckily got it.
All right, perfect. So how long have you been with this in this role?
The deputy chief role, I've been here since 2008. Altogether since 1995, 28 years.
Wow, awesome. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So this is kind of an important week. You guys are out visiting all the little kids in the town and kind of talking fire safety a little bit. Why is this week kind of important to you guys?
It's good to get out into the community and talk to everyone about fire safety, especially this year with cooking fires. It's one of the leading causes of residential fires, or it is the leading cause of residential fires, is cooking fires.
All right, and I know that you're kind of leaning towards more like the outdoors, so you're talking more about outdoor fires.
About wildfires outside this time of the year, things are drying down with the recent frosts we've had. It kills off a lot of the vegetation and it dries it out, which increases the chance for wildfires that we have with the grasses and the crops and the harvesting.
All right, so kind of what should folks do to kind of keep safe to prevent a wildfire?
Be very cautious when you're working outside, especially when it's dry. Even if we get a decent rain, it can only take, in the right conditions, an hour for grasses and smaller fuels like grasses to dry out and be receptive to fire again.
That's amazing. I thought it would be a little longer than that.
Yeah, only about an hour. And this year, currently right now, we've got some rain coming, thankfully, but right now we're about 4.5 inches behind our normal precipitation for the year. So it's considerably dry out there, even though it doesn't appear like it.
Right, and then of course you always want to make sure you're checking the wind and all that, and where you're putting this fire if you are going to burn. Correct.
Yeah. We'd recommend that in town here, even for recreational fires, if the wind is 20 miles an hour or getting close to it, that you don't even have a recreational fire.
Okay. How can folks find out what the rules are here in town for burning?
You can go online. The ordinances are online on the city website in the code section, or you can always call down here and talk to one of us, and we can gladly have a chat with you and inform you what the rules are about burning in town. Okay.
I know there is no open burning, correct?
Correct. There is no open burning, so burning of yard waste like leaves and such, that's prohibited in the city. So all of that stuff can be taken out to the city tree and leaf site, which is directly north of West 18th Street and 18th Avenue. And you can dispose of your leaves out there. That's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week right now.
All right, awesome. So if you see a fire, or maybe you accidentally started a fire, what should be the first thing that you do?
The first thing you should do if you see a wildfire or accidentally start one, call 911 early and report it early, because they can get out of control rather quickly.
So what do you guys have here to help fight those wildfires? What kind of equipment and stuff do you have here?
So here we have a pickup truck that's got a 200-gallon water tank in it. It carries 4 people, and then behind that truck we pull a UTV that's got 100 gallons of water in it. And the crews kind of split up. There'll be 2 working with the truck, 1 driving in a hose line, and then the UTV, there'll be 1 driving the UTV, manning a hose line there, working in tandem together, or sometimes we split up to put the wildfire out.
And I know you sometimes don't have to do it all yourself. You do call other departments.
Correct.
As well.
We'll call other departments in to help us, or we'll be called to mutual aid with other departments to help them put out wildfires in grasses or in fields.
All right, awesome. Anything else you want to add on Fire Safety Week or?
Just be extremely cautious this time of the year with it drying down outside, especially with the rains that we have forecast for the end of the week. We'll see what we get, but use an abundance of caution out there when it's dry, and remember that even if it looks like it's okay and we've gotten a recent rain, it can only take an hour for those fuels to dry down again and be receptive to fire.
How long have you been a part of the Spencer Fire Department?
Hi, I've been a volunteer since 2003 is when I first started, and then in 2008 I started on the career side of it.
All right, awesome. What got you interested in fire service?
My dad's been a firefighter. He was a firefighter for almost 50 years. So when I was younger, I remember him coming home and talking about fires, and that's just kind of what I wanted to be.
So this is Fire Prevention Week, and I guess you have a theme that you're following this week, and kind of what's important with that theme?
Right, this theme is cooking safety starts with you. And what we're doing is we're telling people to make sure that you have a lid to go on your pots and pans, so if that catches on fire, you can put a lid on top of it. We're also talking to them about having an extinguisher available, and of course we're talking about smoke detectors.
All right, so kitchen fires. People think, oh, it's pretty safe to be cooking in your kitchen, but it's kind of not, right?
Well, a kitchen fire, you can be cooking everything and then all of a sudden it'll catch fire. And usually once it catches fire, then it stays in that confined area. So that's why we say to put a lid on it. But as always, if there's a fire of any sort in there and you have any questions, just make sure you get out and call 911. That's the most important thing.
All right. There's some maybe some myths out there or whatever. Like, can you smother that fire with anything other than a lid?
They used to say a long time ago that you can use flour. The problem with flour is flour in itself is flammable and it can be explosive. So we try to say no flour, stay away from that. Just stick with the lid, stick with extinguishers. And water. Water's the same way. Water too, you know, on a grease fire, the grease goes above the water and then it will shoot out of the pan. And especially if you spray the water on top of a grease fire, it'll shoot it out and make the fire much larger than what you really want it to be.
Exactly. Yes. You would try to catch it when it's small, right?
Yep, catch it when it's small.
All right. So, a certain kind of extinguisher you should have in your kitchen?
The extinguisher that we always like to tell people is just to get it's a class A, B, C extinguisher, which is an all-around extinguisher. It'll put out a majority of all fires that are in the house. It's not fire specific. Yep, and if people have questions about it, I mean, they can call the fire station and we can sure talk to them.
All right, sounds good. So what's kind of the big message that you want to drive home to these kids this week while you're doing your classroom visits?
Oh, the biggest thing that we want to talk to them about is, number one, make sure you got a good working smoke detector. The smoke detector can sense it way before anybody else can. That gives you the chance to get out. To get out of your house before that happens. So we talk about the smoke detectors, and again, we talk about the cooking. Make sure if they start cooking, you know, that the correct way to put it out and just be safe that way.
Alrighty. Probably maybe have a plan if there is a fire in your house?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you want to have a plan. You got to have 2 ways to get out. Make sure you got your 2 ways to get out. You want to make sure that you have a meeting spot for everybody that is in your family or in the house itself to have one meeting spot. So if we have to go there, then we know where everybody's at and we can make sure everybody's accounted for.
Alrighty. What's your rule of thumb to call 911?
They have an alerting thing there that tells the exact address. So it's nice to know if you want to say your address, but let us know if there's anybody in there, if nobody came out, if you have a pet in there, or if the fire's really big, or anything like that. If it's upstairs or if there's a fire downstairs, just give us ideas.
All right, so that when you get there, you're a little bit prepared then.
That's right, being prepared.
All right, sounds good. Anything else you want to add on fire safety in general or on the theme for this year? No,
the only thing I'd like to say, you know, is if they got questions about an extinguisher, if they got questions about cooking, if they have anything that's fire related, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, anything, call the fire station 712-580-7240 and we'll be sure to help you guys out anytime we can.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks for taking some time to talk to us today.
You bet, thank you.